Rest in peace, the unprepared reality of unanticipated deaths. The phrase, "rest in peace," is often inscribed on tombstones, spoken at funerals, or shared in condolences. It's a wish for eternal calm for the departed. But for those left behind, an unanticipated death can bring anything but peace. When someone passes unexpectedly, the absence of preparation, legal, financial, and emotional, can plunge loved ones into chaos. This blog post explores the harsh realities of unpreparedness, the consequences of maintaining excessive independence in marriage, and the steps families can take to mitigate the fallout of sudden loss. The shock of the unexpected. Imagine Sarah, a 45-year-old mother of two, who collapses one morning from an undiagnosed heart condition. Her husband, Mark, is devastated. As he grapples with grief, he's confronted with a cascade of practical challenges. Sarah handled most of the family's finances, but Mark doesn't know the passwords to her online banking accounts. She mentioned a life insurance policy once, but he can't find the paperwork. There's a safe deposit box at the bank, but Mark isn't listed as an authorized user. Worse, Sarah never drafted a will, leaving Mark to navigate a legal maze to access her assets while managing funeral costs and their children's needs. This hypothetical scenario is all too common. According to a 2023 survey by Caring.com, only 34% of Americans have an estate plan, and even fewer have updated it in the past 5 years. Unanticipated deaths, whether from accidents, sudden illnesses, or other tragedies, expose the gaps in preparation that many families overlook. The cost of independence in marriage. Many married couples, like Sarah and Mark, value a degree of financial or personal independence. One spouse might manage investments while the other handles household bills. Some keep separate bank accounts or maintain private email accounts for personal matters. While independence can foster individuality, it can become a liability when one spouse dies unexpectedly. Consider another couple, David and Lisa. David, a 50-year-old engineer, prided himself on managing his retirement accounts and investments alone. He wanted to surprise Lisa with a comfortable retirement, so he never shared details about his brokerage accounts or the safe deposit box where he stored important documents. When David died in a car accident, Lisa was left scrambling. She didn't know the account numbers, the financial advisor's contact information, or even which bank held the safe deposit box. The process of accessing these assets took months, draining Lisa's savings and delaying her ability to pay off debts David had left behind. This insistence on independence often stems from trust issues, a desire for control, or simply a lack of communication. But when death strikes, the surviving spouse is left to pick up the pieces, often without the tools to do so efficiently. The consequences of unpreparedness. The absence of a will or trust is one of the most significant hurdles after an unanticipated death. Without a will, state laws, known as intestacy laws, dictate how assets are distributed, which may not align with the deceased's wishes. For example, if Sarah had wanted her sister to inherit her jewelry, there's no guarantee without a will. Probate, the legal process of settling an estate, can drag on for months or years, tying up assets and incurring legal fees. Insurance policies are another pain point. Many people have life insurance through employers, private policies, or even obscure accounts tied to credit cards or memberships. If the surviving spouse isn't aware of these policies or listed as a beneficiary, collecting benefits becomes a bureaucratic nightmare. In 2022, the National Association of Insurance Commissioners reported that billions of dollars in life insurance benefits go unclaimed annually because beneficiaries are unaware of policies or lack proper documentation. Secured accounts and safe deposit boxes add further complications. Banks and financial institutions often require court orders to grant access to a deceased person's accounts if the surviving spouse isn't a co-owner. Password-protected digital accounts, email, social media, or cryptocurrency wallets can be nearly impossible to access without shared credentials or a digital estate plan. Emotional and financial toll. The practical challenges pale in comparison to the emotional toll. Grieving spouses and children are forced to navigate complex legal and financial systems at their most vulnerable. The stress of tracking down accounts, paying bills, or fighting for access to assets can deepen grief and strain family relationships. In Sarah's case, Mark's frustration with the financial mess led to tension with Sarah's parents, who felt he wasn't honoring her memory by struggling to manage her affairs. For families with children, the stakes are even higher. Without a will designating guardians, courts may decide who raises the children, potentially against the parents' wishes. Financial instability from delayed asset access can also jeopardize children's education or well-being. Steps to prepare for the unthinkable. The good news is that preparation can prevent much of this chaos. Here are actionable steps couples and individuals can take to ensure their loved ones are protected. Draft a will or trust. Consult an estate attorney to create a will or trust that outlines how assets should be distributed. Update it every few years or after major life events, e.g., births, divorces. A trust can bypass probate, making the process faster for survivors. Share financial details. Create a shared document, physical or digital, listing all bank accounts, investment accounts, insurance policies, and safe deposit boxes. Include account numbers, contact information, and login credentials. Store this in a secure but accessible location, like a password manager or a home safe. Designate beneficiaries. Ensure all insurance policies, retirement accounts, and financial accounts list beneficiaries. Review and update these designations regularly. Communicate openly. Couples should discuss their financial and legal arrangements openly. Schedule regular check-ins to review accounts, debts, and plans. Transparency builds trust and ensures both spouses are prepared. Plan for digital assets. Include passwords for email, social media, and other digital accounts in your shared document. Consider using a password manager with a legacy feature that grants access to a trusted person after death. Information is secured and included in your Myredfolder plan. Prepare for guardianship. If you have children, designate guardians in your will to ensure they're cared for by someone you trust. Consult professionals. Work with financial advisors, estate attorneys, or accountants to create a comprehensive plan. They can identify gaps you might overlook. A call to action. Rest in peace is a beautiful sentiment, but it's incomplete without preparation. An unanticipated death can turn grief into a logistical nightmare, leaving loved ones to wrestle with financial uncertainty and legal battles. By taking proactive steps, drafting wills, sharing information, and planning openly, families can ensure that their loved ones can grieve without added burdens. Take a moment today to start the conversation with your spouse or family. Create that shared document, schedule a meeting with an attorney, or simply talk about your wishes. It's not about distrust or morbid anticipation. It's about love and responsibility. Let rest in peace be a reality for both the departed and those they leave behind.